Herman had always been the quiet, mischievous type. On that fateful Tuesday, he sat at his desk in the back corner of the computer lab, where the teacher couldn't see his screen. His classmates were busy typing away at their assignments, but Herman had a different idea. He navigated quickly to coolmathgames.com, opened Run 2, and lost himself in the pixelated bliss of running and jumping across platforms. The problem was, Mrs. Davis was smarter than she looked. "Herman," she said, her voice low but firm, "what exactly are you doing?" Herman froze. The game music was still playing faintly in the background. Coolmathgames.com, he stammered. "You know, it's an educational website." Mrs. Davis raised an eyebrow and crossed her wrinkled, sagging arms. "Run 2? Really?" She leaned over his shoulder and with one click of her scary, disgusting, wrinkled finger, she revealed the rows of non-educational games lined up in full view. "This doesn't look like math to me." By lunchtime, Herman was sitting in the principal's office. Mr. Greggs wasn't like other principals. He would do demented things like give kids detention and would call parents. He's so stern that he threatened to call off an assembly because the students were being too loud. He just sat behind his desk with a scowl and tapped his pen repeatedly against the wood. "Playing games during class, Herman? And lying about it too." Mr. Greggs sighed heavily as if Herman had personally offended him. "You're suspended for 3 days. Maybe that'll teach you to take school more seriously." Herman felt a thrill run down his spine. Suspended? No school for 3 days? This was going to be awesome. He could spend all day playing Roblox, eating snacks and lounging in front of the TV. The thought of freedom nearly made him grin as he shuffled out of the office. But the real horror started when he got home. His mom screeched a bloody cry when she found out about the suspension. She took his iPad like she didn't even love him anymore. Then she furiously informed him there would be no video games, no TV, no junk food, no hanging out with friends or any earthly pleasures. He could read, do chores, think about what he had done, and eat vegetables. "But I'm suspended," Herman protested. "I'm supposed to be off." His mom only smiled, a cruel, wicked smile. "Oh, you're off all right, off from fun," she said, cackling like a fat bitch. Herman spent the next 3 days tortured by boredom. His friends were all in school, the house was silent, and there was nothing to do but stare at the ceiling and pretend play Roblox in his head. Then came the final blow. On Friday, when his suspension ended, Herman walked into class, already dreading what he might have missed. As soon as he sat down, his friends were casually talking about the field trip. "Oh, hey," Kyle said, barely looking up. "You missed the museum yesterday." Herman's heart skipped a beat. "The dinosaur museum?" Kyle shrugged. "Yeah, I guess it was mostly just bones and stuff. We saw a T-Rex skeleton. Kinda big, but not that cool." Herman's stomach twisted. Dinosaurs were his favorite thing in the world. He had always dreamed of seeing a T-Rex skeleton up close. His room was covered in dinosaur posters, and he knew the name of every species. "Was there more?" he asked, his voice barely steady. Sarah chimed in, yawning. "Yeah, some raptor exhibit too. They let us touch a fossil or something, but it wasn't a big deal. We left early and just hung out in the cafeteria." Herman tried to hide the sinking feeling in his chest. His friends went on, talking about how cool the T-Rex looked up close and how the guide let them touch a real fossil. For them, it was just another field trip. For Herman, it was the one chance to see the creatures he loved more than anything. And he had missed it. Herman would never know what a T-Rex looked like up close, because while they were at the museum, he was at home, grounded, trapped in a nightmare of nothingness. Next time you think about goofing off in class, just remember what Herman went though. He still lives with his stupid mom and his stupid teacher and stupid principal. He's sure to remember this for weeks to come.
Hey guys, Mr. Scarypasta here. Basically, if you like that scary story, be sure to hit the subscribe button and like the video too. I write all these stories myself and I release videos every week. Okay, goodbye.